Welcome to Mecum's Gone Farmin Vintage Tractor Auction, featuring the only classic tractor auction of its kind in the country. Today, some of the hardest to find tractors in the world will hit the auction block. So sit back and relax and enjoy Mecum's Gone Farmin Vintage Tractor Auction.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Walworth, Wisconsin for another episode of Mecum's Gone Farmin. I'm Mike Holland along with my co-host Max Wilson, and we'll be bringing you live every single one of the tractors that hits the auction block today. Max, it should be a good one.
Yeah, walking around the last 2 days as we're setting up, I mean, there's just a lot of beautiful tractors out here.
From collections to vintage tractors to signs to pretty much everything you want to see hit the auction block, we've got it all. So don't go anywhere. It's all coming up right after this. Well, welcome back to Walworth, Wisconsin and Mecum's Gone Farmin. As the next tractor makes its way in, let's get back to the action. And that'll bring us up to S23, which is a 1959 John Deere 430W. And Max, this one's going out at no reserve as well.
Yeah, another nice little 430. This one here has a deluxe seat and 3-point on it. Spin out wheels on it. New front tires. Once again, another nice looking little tractor. Wouldn't be afraid to go out and put her to work or take it to a couple tractor shows, have fun with it. And of course, it's amazing. You kind of look at this tractor and you go, well, it's kind of small. It's just got a little 2-cylinder engine in it. These things actually pack quite a punch for being out of that little vertical 2-cylinder engine. So,
well, we're getting a lot of action over here Kathy's way. She's got some people that have really got their eye on this one.
Yeah, just hit $4,000, so.
And it moves out for $4,000, bringing us up to lot S24, which is a 1955 Farmall 400 gas.
Yeah, really today we've been kind of dominated with the John Deere so far, and got a pretty nice looking little Farmall 400 gas. Paint and everything on this looks good. A little bit of peeling and some flaking around the hydraulic controls. It was painted 4 years ago. Has a factory tack. Actual hours unknown. Runs real good. TA works. Has power steering. Standard drawbar on it. Good brakes, runs, drives, and all the lights work. So it's pretty much a nice little tractor for you just take right home and use or play around with.
Well, Max, this is another example of the Farmalls I was talking about out in the lot. I just haven't seen them in this good a condition and this restored to this level. The paint is absolutely flawless, and somebody's really taken the time to make these look fantastic for today's auction.
Yeah, I mean, as we look down the side of the hood, you can really see that shine of the paint and everything. I mean, this would really be a good tractor for someone to buy right now. And of course, at $3,250, I mean, you're not going to find a tractor that horsepower range. If you were looking at brand new ones, you're not going to find one that inexpensive that'll still put in a good hard day's work. And the nice part is it doesn't have all the electrical on it that these new tractors have, to where you've got to be an engineer to figure it out. So, and that's going to sell at $3,250. And that's going to bring in S25 as a 1952 John Deere A high crop. Real nice original high crop. Serial number 686252. Serial number tag is good. 1 of 2 shipped to Webb and Smeco in Toppenish, Washington. So a good northern high crop. We actually have the order code number on here, 66500-703384. Sold new on March 13th of 1952 to May Nursery. This tractor's been shed, kept all its life, and it really shows. Usually these high crops went to the southern states where they were by the salt, by the ocean and the Gulf of Mexico, and that salt water just ate them up, or spraying some stuff on the vegetables and that they were doing, it was real corrosive, it'd eat them up. This is a prime example of a high crop to buy and either keep it original or restore it, but you got something to start with. It's running through here on its own power. I actually kind of looked at this tractor, I was really admiring it because you don't see A high crops all that often in this kind of shape, and of course last year manufactured the A, so.
Well, let's just give our viewers an example of what some of these tractors can go for, and even the older ones that haven't been completely restored, sometimes that adds value to them.
Yes. Yeah, and like I said, there aren't many A high crops out there the guy can say is original, so.
And our auctioneer trying to get $13,000. Getting some of these buyers moving.
Yeah, $12,500 right now.
And with that, we're going to take a break in the action to see what Kevin's up to. Kevin, what do you have for us?
We're here with Ray. Ray, what kind of tractors are you looking at here today?
Mostly international harvesters, the rarer tractors like the high crops, orchards, tractors like that.
You've got a little collection already of your own. Tell me a little bit about what you've got in your collection.
Well, I've got a couple of 130 high crop internationals, a 300 high crop, 600 wheatland, W400 wheatland, 400 diesel row crop, 300 utility, and a 300 row crop. All 1956s. It was the year I was born. It's the last of the all-red Farmall tractors, so that's why I really like them. But I've also got a Farmall M 1951 that I bought from a friend of mine. Was a tractor mentor to me. He passed away a couple of years ago at 96. It's a Farmall M 51 model, kind of a common tractor, but it never worked hard in its life. It only did haying and mowing horse pastures and plowing snow with a V-plow, and that's all it ever did.
So have you seen some really good quality tractors here at this auction?
Oh yes, there's always, I love this auction. I go to a lot of these bigger auctions because if you're looking for something odd or unusual, chances are it will show up here even if it isn't listed.
Well, thanks for talking to us today, Ray. Good luck on the bidding. Back to you guys.
It's bringing us to lot S26, which is a 1957 Farmall 350.
Yeah, this one here, newer tires, PPG automotive paint, complete restoration. It has a TA, runs great, and has the original fast hitch on it. So another great looking Farmall here. Got the wheels turned around, got them wheel weights painted white on it, kind of setting it apart. Power steering's working good on the tractor. So yeah, and I really like these tractors here with that round, that grill being painted white and that white inset in the hood. It just really sets those tractors off as far as the paint scheme.
And that one rolls out at $4,500, bringing me to one of the ones I've had my eye on here, Max, which is a 1973 International 1066. I really like the way this one looks. This is one of the bigger tractors, but it's really been meticulously touched up here. It's interesting, it has those flat fenders on the top there.
Yeah, and of course on the 66 series, that was the standard fender. Actually, I've spent some time sitting on one of those fenders riding around. That kind of made it nice, not the safest thing in the world. I don't really condone it anymore, but being a kid, that was a lot of fun. And of course, this one here, new tires, fresh paint, flat top fenders, 3-point with PTO, dual hydraulics, has a chrome straight pipe on it. When it was pulling in here, the guy cracked the throttle a little bit, sounded real nice. New hoses and belts, new gaskets, believed to only have 4,500 hours on it. I believe with this being the decal on the side of this saying the 5 millionth tractor, I don't think this is the 5 million tractor. I think this is kind of a clone, if I kind of use a word from the car area. It's a clone of the 5 million tractor, but just really a nice looking tractor with that paint scheme and everything on it. So
something that really stood out above the rest of the lot there. It really commands attention, certainly, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's a big tractor. I mean, that's probably right around 120 horse, 130 horse tractor. So
I believe that thing would pull a school out of its place as it starts making its way out, bringing out the last call.
Yeah, $13,000 bid on that 1066 International.
Why not?
$13,000. They did bring the reserve off on that one. And with that, Max, we're going to take a quick break, but don't you go anywhere. We'll be back with Mecum's Gone Farmin right after this. Folks, welcome back to Walworth, Wisconsin, and Mecum's Gone Farmin. As the auctioneer starts his banter, let's get the tractor moving up to the block. Bringing us up to lot S28, which is a 1946 John Deere A.
Yeah, and of course 46A, it's got the long hood with the battery up underneath the hood. I can't say enough about the paint on this tractor. This thing is just amazing. Beautiful paint job, got the fenders on it, wheel weights, newer tires, new radiator, complete engine rebuild. Pretty much everything's been done. This is just probably one of the nicest A's we've had at the auction. I mean, we've had a lot of A's and a lot of nice A's, but paint-wise and just running-wise, this has probably been one of the nicest ones. I was kind of drooling on this one. I'm kind of partial to my John Deere A's. This one here is actually, the paint's nice enough, I would be scared to take it back out into the field at all. That's actually how my dad got started in the two-cylinder tractors, was just like a tractor like that. I think he traded 50 bales of hay and 50 bales of hay and something else for 46A. They're working on this tractor, just got the $3,000. So
it sits out next to the south end of this tent, getting ready to make its exit run. They're not giving up on this one. They know what this tractor is worth. $3,400 it sells for. Somebody got a fantastic deal on that one. Bringing us to lot S29, which is a 1946 Farmall BN.
Yeah, and of course the BN, usually when you hear that, you think of a John Deere B with the single front wheel. This is a Farmall here, but what it is on the B ends, they actually narrowed up the rear axles. Usually they were set out real wide for cultivating two rows. Well, a BN in an international world is actually a B narrow, but they actually narrowed up the rear wheels and the rear tread on them a little bit to make it a little bit easier, different cultivating applications and that. Also made it a lot easier to haul them on a trailer because otherwise they were really wide. This one also has rear weights on it. Pretty nice example of what a BN looks like. You had that offset seat so you could see underneath and kind of had a good view of your work when you were cultivating.
And you can see there Kathy working the crowd, making sure that she's got somebody going now. Gives you a good view there of how many people have gathered into this 200-foot tent here in Walworth, Wisconsin at Mecum's Gone Farmin Classic Tractor Auction. Of course, we want to say thank you to everyone out there watching on RFD-TV across the country. Max, we are going north of 500,000 people a month actually watching these auctions now, generating a real interest in some of these tractors that are hitting the block.
Yeah, and I thank everyone that's been watching and tuning in. I mean, it's something I never figured I'd be involved with or having this much fun doing. So.
And that's going to bring us up to lot S30, which is a 1953 Shepherd Diesel D3.
Yeah, and this is what you call the rare and unusual tractor. These were built from 49 to 56.
If we get 14, 15, you want to
sold to in China, Illinois in 1953, so right pretty much in the middle of the production run. Spent its entire life in Mount Carroll, Illinois, built to compete with the Farmall M. Shepherd sold a conversion kit to put the engine in M Farmalls as well. Believed to be less than 150 of these in existence, Mike, so kind of an unusual tractor. Over 20,000 spent on restoration, not counting purchase of tractors and tires and paint. So this one here is a good opportunity to have a rather unusual tractor. This is probably only the second or third one that I've ever seen. So, and this one here is restored beautifully, new tires on it. So, and of course right now, just past that $10,000 mark, now just past 12, we're at $13,000 bid, so really speaks to the scarcity of this tractor.
It also goes to show you, Max, you never know what kind of buyers are out there. Somebody certainly had their eye on this one, but it is rare, it's unusual, and that's probably exactly what they were looking for. You get a little bit of everything here in these auctions.
$14,000, it just needs to be taken home and loved. It just needs to be taken home and loved. $14,500.
Yeah, and of course this is a 3-cylinder diesel in this tractor, so kind of an unusual setup. Most everyone 2-cylinder, 4-cylinder, 6-cylinder, and this being a 3-cylinder diesel for 49 to 56, it was kind of unusual.
And with that, we're going to take a break in the action to go to our field reporter, Kevin. Kevin, what do you have for us?
Thanks, guys. We're down here with John. John, what have you brought for us today?
We've got here a 1949 John Deere M all-field tractor.
What makes this one so special?
These tractors mostly were exported in 1949, and John Deere states that this would have been a very rare find to find one in the U.S.
Bringing us up to lot S30, which is a John Deere M all-fuel tractor.
Yeah, and of course, all-fuel means that you got the 2 tanks on it. It's actually made to start on gasoline and switch to start on gasoline, switch to kerosene. And very rare to find one of these M's. Any of the Dubuque tractors as an all-fuel is kind of hard to find. This matches the article quote in Green Magazine from 1995. Very few were made and almost all were exported. New tires, new paint, front and rear weights, original gauges, original tanks and valve, and original shutters on this tractor. So pretty much everything on this tractor that it came with, it's sitting here with yet. So also has the front and rear wheel weights on. This came from one of our consigners at usually every auction. He brings about 2 or 3 tractors, and they're all Dubuques. Very nice paint on this tractor, and actually the guy tells me that his wife is the one that does the paint work on it, on the tractor. So $12,000 bid on this John Deere M all fuel. Kind of one of those you don't see them hardly at all. I mean, this is probably probably the first one I've ever seen. So. That one's going to sell at $12,000.
Well, folks, Mecum's Gone Farmin is certainly all about tractors, but they're also about vintage signs and collectibles. People from all over come to bid on these signs, and it's a fantastic part of the show. Take a look.
M57 is another new idea sign, double-sided tin, 48 by 20. And that one here is hanging up in the rafters. They've got a camera shot on it now. $300 on that sign. Would have probably been the one that hung over the door to the dealership or whatever.
Just to clarify, it's not new Idlewild.
And that one's going to sell, and it's going to bring up M58 as an Oliver literature rack with the literature in it. Got the Oliver shield on each side. And that one there, of course, also has the new idea Avco manure spreaders literature in it. Because, of course, new idea ended up, I believe, getting merged in with Oliver years ago. $900 for literature rack and the literature it's in it. $900 Kathy's way. That's going to bring M59 new idea literature rack, single-sided tin. Another nice looking original sign, and of course these here they usually were displayed inside the dealership, so they didn't get near the wear and tear that some of these signs would have gotten hanging outside of a dealership. So 30.5 inches by 19.5 inches, just to kind of give you an idea of the size. 400, looking for 4.5. $400 on that new idea literature rack. It's going to bring up M60 as a case eagle hitch sign, single-sided tin enamel paint, 71.5 inches by 36 inches. This one here, you can see it's got a little bit of fade to it and the patina on it. Not seen us sell a sign like this before. Kind of tells you how far back case goes in the agricultural field, and the date on it's 1842 for when case started. $900 bid on that old case sign. That's going to sell for $1,100, and that's going to bring up a Ford and Fordson sign at M61, single-sided porcelain, 66 by 26 inches. And of course, this would have been back when they still had the Fordson's tractors, so back in the 20s and 30s.
Well, that Ford logo has not changed much over the years.
Why mess with a good thing? That's Henry Ford's signature right there. So. $700 on this old Ford sign. And that one's going to an internet bidder. M62 is a John Deere single-sided tin, 33 by 58. This would have been right around when the 30 Series 2 cylinders was coming out, and they would have had this hanging on the edge of a wall, promoting their new and used equipment. Tends to usually fetch a decent price. We're at $450 right now, $500.
I think that kind of goes to show you, Max, that the John Deere stuff is, it's interesting because you pointed this out earlier, that whether it's how many feet it has is going to date it according to when it actually came out.
Yeah, and with this having the four-legged Deere logo, that would have started in about 57, I think it was. They started with that, and then that kind of carried through for quite a few years. So 8.5 now on this single-sided John Deere sign. Now at $1,050. Sign appears to be in really good shape. Looks like there's a little bit of a ding and maybe a little bit of rust coming through down towards the bottom of it, but very displayable yet. There's a little bit of a chip in the upper corner, which that just kind of adds to it that you know it's an original. Looks like we've got an internet bidder there. One of the guys from Mecum staff, David Purvis. $1,300 on a telephone bid. And this John Deere Syracuse chilled plows, that was the plow manufacturers up in Syracuse, New York. They called them chilled plows because they were actual cast iron moldboards. They were chilled. Very neat sign here. That one there is single-sided tin enamel, 30 inches by 17. $250 right now bid. Sold $250 Audra's way. 64 is Aladdin gasoline, single-sided tin enamel, 19.5 by 7 inches. This would be kind of classified as a small, where you just kind of use it to fill in a little open space on your wall.
About the size of a Illinois license plate.
And still bringing $150 on that.
Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break in the action, but don't go anywhere. There's plenty more Mecum's Gone Farmin right here from Walworth, Wisconsin, coming up right after this. Welcome back to Mecum's Gone Farmin, Wisconsin. As the next tractor makes its way up to the auction block, let's get back to all the action. That's going to bring us up to lot S32, which is a 1973 Oliver 1855 FWA.
Yeah, and this one here has a professional restoration by Ken Guile. Radiator was re-cored, water pump rebuilt, new starter and alternator, exhaust manifold muffler had a protective coating applied. Hydraulic power was replaced, or hydropower was replaced. Front axle pivot was rebushed and pinned. Steering cylinders resealed with tie rods replaced. New front wheel drive shift cable. Front wheels were whitened and tires replaced, and weighted wheel extensions were installed. All the functions on the dashboard, the cables, speedometer and tachometer were all replaced. So this also has the fender mounted fuel tank, so you could run it a little bit longer out in the field on a tank of fuel. Once again, very, very desirable tractor, beautiful tractor with that Oliver rollover protection structure and the canopy on it. And of course, there's a few people out in the crowd that are really kind of liking this tractor now, as we just shot right past $20,000.
Well, this one's as big as that International that just came through just a little bit ago. So the size of this one pretty much just cleared the tent as it made its way inside.
Yeah, and of course, this one here also has factory 3-point on it. I was kind of admiring this tractor. I do have a soft spot for Oliver in the 1800 series and that, because I was around one when I was younger, helping a neighbor bale hay, and they are a fun tractor to drive. And of course, this one here with the front wheel assist on it, that just tops it all off. The reserve just came off of this tractor. The reserve's off now. $23,000 right now.
And it's $24,000. Bringing us to lot S33 Max, which is a 1959 John Deere 830.
Oh yeah, and this one here, I was really excited to see this tractor here. I've seen this at a couple of different shows. This thing has just been restored, and to the point, got the electric start, 24-volt system, got the big tires on the back. Just a real beautiful tractor, no expensive spared restoration. I was very impressed with this tractor. I believe it has dual hydraulics.
And as you can see the plow that it's pulling behind it, that's going to come in under a separate lot number.
Yeah, and this one here is Expo certified, serial number 498. That's a two-cylinder club that when you show there, they actually give you a plaque with a serial number on it that says that this has been certified as being restored as one of the best tractors out there. Also has the Superior Restoration Award of 007. 23.126 new rear tires, 750/18 SL front tires. Overhauled mower, power steering, new clutch, generator, foot throttle, dual hydraulic. $53,000 spent on the restoration of this tractor, Mike. PTO, power steering, new seat, tack gauges, lights, wiring, restored by Midwest Tractor and Plow. The plow will be sold separately right after this tractor, but just a very beautiful restoration. I mean, probably the best 830 out there right now. And of course, the reserve has just come off of this tractor at $32,000. And I mean, this is just, I'm sitting here drooling right now just because this tractor is so nice. And you sit there and look at it, it's running there in those camera shots, and you got Kathy running across the screen there, going over to try and get someone else wrangled in that's got their hand in the air. But you look at this tractor sitting there running, there is no smoke coming out of this thing. I mean, that motor is just as nice and tight as you could get. $38,000 bid. Do you see Kathy there bouncing up and down, that big grin on her face? She's having fun right now.
And as Max said, the reserve has come off on this tractor. Someone is going home with this one today.
Yeah, and as we just hit $40,000 on it, Mike, I mean, this is, here we go. I was going to say, I thought we had a live one here right in front of us. Kathy come running over, seeing if she can get them tracked down. You got Kathy and Dan over there now working on the bidder. $41,000, man.
Dan over there trying to work his magic. I know that grin well.
41.5. Uh-oh. Looks like Dan's going back to see. Well, we got some phone bidding action right now on there. Now we're at 42. You can just feel it in here. I'm on the edge of my seat. I got goosebumps. This is just so exciting to see this tractor bring $42,000, and then we still got the plow to sell.
$42,000.
Wow.
Right behind it comes this, certainly this plow that has to, it looks like it's just made for this tractor, so.
Now I'm in love with that tractor. Long enough, I should be. Lot S34 is the plow.
And that brings us to lot S34, of course. Pulling behind that, John Deere's a 1960 John Deere 680 plow.
Yeah, and of course, 6-bottom John Deere plow. This has the trip bottoms on it. 6/16s, 680 AH plow is what this is actually going to be called. Expo certified tag with a serial number 591. Superior Restoration 008, so one number higher than the Superior Restoration on the tractor. New tires and paint appropriate cylinder, shipped from the factory with one colder. And a lot of people do that just on that front or that back bottom to leave a nice clean furrow wall. Complete restoration by Midwest Tractor and Plow. No expenses paired. All parts have been replaced with the appropriate hydraulic cylinder. It's just an amazing piece. And man, a guy would have thought he was king of the world plowing with this 830 and that plow. I know I'd probably have a big grin on my face if I got a chance to go out and run that. The plow right now is at $6,000.
And they just lifted off the reserve.
And yeah, reserve just came off at $6,000, $6,500 bid right now. I've always been told buying plows, especially the old school ones out of the fence row was $100 a bottom, but right now it looks like we're running just a little bit over $1,000 a bottom, and justifiably so with the restoration done on this one. And find another one now.
Our camera crew certainly give you a great view of the restoration job on this plow.
Check for the paint job at
Paul's conversing with the auctioneer now.
Just for the paint.
$10,000 to paint the plow. It'd be a shame to use it.
$9,000 right now.
$10,000 to paint it.
82 and a half right now. I'm sorry. Got a little ahead of ourselves there. Yeah, I walked around this plow here, and it's just a beautiful looking plow, and that's going to sell at $82.50.
And with that, we're going to take a quick break, but don't worry, there's plenty of Mecum's Gone Farmin, Wisconsin coming up right after this.
We're here with Paul. Paul, you've got how many tractors? 2 tractors here.
2 tractors and 2 plows.
So tell me a little bit about this 730 that's right behind us.
It's what they call a 730 standard, made for operating in large fields and not for row crop, because the axles aren't adjustable like they are on a row crop tractor.
But this one has what on the front?
It has an adjustable front end, which is rare. And I don't know why it was bought that way, but it was. And it makes the tractor more desirable and more rare.
Fantastic. Well, thanks very much, Paul. Appreciate it. Back to you guys.
I know this is owned by the same person that owned that 830 that we just sold in the plow, and once again we got a 730 standard Expo Superior Restoration number 009.
And in tow, it's got the 620 plow behind it, going for a separate lot number. But right now, we are working on this John Deere 730 standard.
Yep, 730 diesel standard, electric start, Expo certified. 669 is the tag, or the number on that Expo certified tag. 2,369 original hours. New front rear tires, original tack, new gauges, seat, lights, brakes. Front, got the 3-piece front weight set on it. 3-point width third link. Once again, I'm getting so excited, I'm tripping over my own words here, Mike.
What's it gonna be?
Adjustable wide front PTO, single hydraulic. Once again, another complete restoration by Midwest Tractor and Plow. And the plow is going to be sold separately, as you alluded to. And right now here we're $20,000. And now we're going to hear from Big Paul up there. So.
On that!
We'll try again. Where are we all at? Now 18. Now we can be at 18, 19.
All right. $20,000 on this 730 diesel standard yet, and the reserve has just come off of this tractor.
All talking to the seller of this tractor, just got the reserve lifted, as Max just said, so this one's going home today. I think it's obvious these tractors have been very well cared for, very meticulously restored.
Yeah, no expenses spared on any of these tractors.
And moves out for $23,000, but it won't go very far. It's just going to probably move up a little to give a good view of the plow that this one's pulling right behind it. Of course, Max, I'm talking about the 620 plow. This is a 1969 John Deere 620 plow.
Yep, and once again, another Expo Superior Restoration on the plow. Superior Restoration tag number 010 and Expo certified number 670. 416s, F620A or 620A plow. I actually have one of these that I pull at home with my 820, but it's nowhere near as nice as this, Mike. Has the appropriate cylinder, all 4 colders, and the restoration on this plow was also done by Midwest Plow and Tractors. So,
with all the information on these tractors hitting our auction block, we want to remind our viewers you can always go to mecum.com and take a look at these individual lots yourself, and lots of information there, as well as information on where you can sell a tractor at our next auction coming up here in November.
And that plow just sold at $2,000.
And that brings us up to the next lot, which is S37, which is a 1967 Farmall 1206 row crop.
Yeah, and of course 1206 is once again just a beautiful looking tractor with that red and white paint scheme on it. This one's got the big chrome straight pipe on it. It sounded real good as it was rolling by here. Beautiful restoration on this. Factory TA delete. New rear tires, believed to be 7,056 original hours.
You know, Max, this is just going to what I had said earlier about these farmalls coming through. I don't know if they came from the same part of the country or the same restoration, but these look flawless. I have not seen farmalls that look this good coming through this auction probably in the last 2 years we've been doing this.
We've had a few real nice collections come through here, real nice variation, but I mean, some of these tractors that have been coming through this weekend have just been unbelievable. The paint work on them and everything's done right. This one here's just sitting there purring along right at 22.5 bid right now. This one has hydraulics, new seat, new lights. I mean, it sounds like everything's been done.
And certainly bring in a high dollar value for this tractor, much deserved. It's a stunning looking tractor. As it rolled its way through here past our announcer's desk, obviously with these flat fenders, it just really does command a presence, but somebody did a phenomenal job restoring this tractor.
Yeah, it's just one of the nicest ones we've probably had come across. We've had a lot of nice 1206s, but.
And they're going to close the bidding at $24,000 on that one as the bid goes on, bringing us to our next lot of S38, which is a 1955 International 400 Series.
Yeah, and this tractor here, once again, another beautifully restored farmall we got coming in here. It is a diesel. Made the cover of Red Power magazine, November, December 2010 issue. So this is a 4-year-old restoration on this tractor. New tires, fenders, professionally restored by Brian Overall of Midwest Plow and Tractor. So another, they don't just do the green ones that we saw come through here at 8:30 in the plow and at 7:30 in plow. They also do red ones. Will be driven through by Brian Overall, the guy that did the restoration. New TA, new radiator, too many new parts to mention. And just probably one of the prettiest 400 diesels that we've had come across here at Mecum. Does have a set of wheel weights on it. And we're at $10,000 bid right now on this 400 diesel. And of course the 400, that was just the next version of the M when they went through.
He'll let the reserve let him know it's for sale.
12.5. On holds a minute, 12.5. 12,005. Reserves on. 12.5. I'll take 5. 13.5.
There you go, 13.
1,500. 14. Both their bidders out at 14,000.
And Paul has just managed to convince the seller to lift the reserve on this tractor, which he has just done. And it rolls out at $13,000 as Paul congratulates the seller there. Well, Max, that's all the time we have for today's show. And of course, you've been watching Mecum's Gone Farmin Classic Tractor Auction right here in Walworth, Wisconsin. I'm your host, Mike Holland, along with Max Wilson, and we'll see you next week right here on RFD-TV.